Hi everyone, welcome back to the stream. So yesterday we worked on the React Native app. We created all the screens. Let me just quickly run it. APX. And let me know if the sound is okay and everything works. If there are issues, please let me know in the chat. But yeah, so we got to the point that we created all three screens. Basically, we set up React Native, we set up React Native navigation, we created all these three screens that we have here. And we implemented this, like the simple search. For now, it doesn't work as well, so we can fix that. And then also we created this book details page, which we can improve. But today's episode would be more concerned with like fixing what we did yesterday and cleaning up, adding more styles, working with the operating system teams, things like that. So let's start with typings. So as you may have seen, we have these components, and so far we have been using this like custom props to add the component ID. And for example, if we want to write book details dot options, we can't do that because the issue here is React components don't recognize this options thing, which is used with React Native navigation. So if we want to change the screen's title, etc., we have to change them from this root element or somewhere else. But if we want to set it from the component itself, it's not really possible right now. So what we can do is we can start by creating types navigation thing, and then here we can start with let's say, okay, each navigation component takes interface navigation component props. Each one takes a component ID, right? And it's string, so we can simplify this and not have to pass this every time to a component that we wanna do. So what we can do here is create our own component type, and here we would be navigation component, and then we can take a type. I will explain what this is later. Well, I can explain it right now. So as you can see, each React component in TypeScript can take this React.function component, and it takes a parameter with your own properties of that component. So we want to be able to pass this because each component is different. If we want to specify a navigation component, we want our own components, our own properties like book, and be able to basically define our own as well. So each navigation component is first of all React.function component, and then it takes P, and then because we want to also pass this component ID, we do P and navigation component props. So basically this thing is the same as having this, if this was not here, and specifying our own type. Alright, so we have the navigation component props, which is this, and our custom parameter. And also, in addition to the React component, we have to have the custom properties of the navigation screen, like the thing I said, book details and options, this thing. And the navigation and the React Native navigation exports type React Native navigation, and that is navigation So we want the React Native navigation options. Let's see, where is it? Where is it? Interface options. Let's see. I think they have, this used to be navigation component. Oh no, okay. Maybe this, yeah. Is this the right thing? Yes, yes. This is what we want basically. Cool. And then we want this as well at the same time. But as you can see, this is just the options itself. So what we need to do is create another type, exports interface navigation component options, and then here we give it this options, and it could be optional, and it might be a function because we need the pass props. Let's say here, for example, we're passing books from this action, and then we want to be able to use it in the options as well. I will let you know in a second how it is. So pass props would be, and this is optional because we might not need it, and then that would be a record of string and any, and then this would return options. Right. So basically the navigation component, we pass it our own interface, and then it's a React function component which mixes our interface plus the navigation component props, which is just an extra component. We could just write it in line here as well. I mean, we don't really need that. We can just write it here. We don't need to export this even. And then we union it with these options, but not that options. Now we have navigation component options, and we can do this. So basically now if we just get rid of this, say navigation component here, it doesn't recognize book yet because we haven't passed our own interface. So we can say book details props. Now it recognizes book because this thing is navigation component of book detail props. So I take it that the sound is okay since you guys haven't mentioned anything in the chat, but yeah. And now we can define our own options, right? So what we can do here is do this. Let's see if we can do this. Wait. We give it a function and then we return function. Yeah. Yes. Navigation, top bar, title, and then the text would be pass props would be books here, but we don't need it. So we could just take the pass props here. Let's see what it gives us. What? Oh, yeah. Test. Let's see if this works. So let's not give this any options. There you go, the test or the props. So what we can do is basically take the, wait, we can improve this because right now if I say here book, it does work, but this is not recognized, and I will say in a second. Just write any. So let's see if I plug this, it would work. Yeah, it still works. But does it? Not props. And props the book. I want to see if I can get the thing directly. Where is this log? Okay, maybe we want to run Flipper to have a better... So Flipper is a debugging component that you can use from React Native 0.62. And if we see here, it should connect to this. Yeah, cool. And there are logs, so let's just go back and come here. Pass props. JSON stringify props undefined to. Let's just see what it is nicely. Is it this? I think this log is coming from somewhere else. Where's my hello? Oh, you might have... Okay, it just needs a reload because this is a native component, so it doesn't work with fast refresh. So if I do props as any the book, and if I reload it, didn't work. What if I just do JSON stringify props undefined 2 and then reload again? Come here. Where is my log? Oh, sorry, I'm super dumb. I was searching for hello. So there is book and previously, yeah. So it is an object that includes all of our props. So let's just improve this. So basically we can pass this thing, and then pass props could be that T, and then this can be P. So we pass our own interfaces to this, and then here we can set it as pass props. So our pass props, instead of any, would become the T. Well, we can just name it P for sake of brevity. So this pass props would be the same thing as P. So what happens here, this now became book details props. So what we can do here is do props.book, and the reason this doesn't work is if this props is not volume info, title, and then let's set a default unknown. So now if I go back here, reload this, here we go. Sweet, isn't it? So now we can just set this right from the screen. we don't need to know it everywhere. Yeah, done. So the only thing we need to do from this search is just pass the book props. And as you can see, we just pass it here, and then now we're just able to use it right here. We don't need to do anything else. Alright, so now we have this type that we can use. Let's just improve all of our other screens to have this navigation component thing. So our search screen, instead of React function component, would be navigation component, and then it doesn't need this component ID anymore because we already passed it, as you can see, so it doesn't throw an error. And then on the bottom of the screen, we can do search screen.options top bar, title, text, found books. And then what we can do is inside index.js, if you see here, we pass this stuff, these options to the search screen. We can just get rid of all that and then remove this options thing. So now before I remove it, as you can see, there is nothing, there is no search bar because I just removed the options from here, but I can just add them right back like this, and then there you go. Yeah, look for titles, and search by title, author, or ISBN. Looks more professional, right? Okay, so that's the search screen. Let's do the same thing to home screen. Instead of React function component, it would be navigation components, and then we can take all of the options that we have passed to it here, all of this, and you see it disappeared from up here. So now what we can do is do home screen dot options top bar and this needs a reload because it's a static property on the component, and basically React doesn't actually see this because this is not supposed to be here, but because our navigation library expects it, we can just add it extra here, but we need to reload every time we actually want to make a change in this part. But if I make a change here, it just comes without reloading because it has fast refresh enabled, enable fast refresh. So, but this one can't be a part of that. Cool. Right. So what we want to do next, also do the same thing to the settings screen. Sorry if you hear my dog growling, he's asleep and he's dreaming. Navigation components, and then the last, oh, okay, what did I do here? And last but not least, we can just do this whole thing. Top bar, and pass it to this settings screen dot options. Now we have settings as well. Right? Cool. Now it's much simpler. Every component, every screen has its own settings right where it needs to be, so we don't need to come here and set it all the time. We could overwrite them. For example, let's say if we can overwrite this settings screen if we need to later. Options, top bar, title, text. Okay, even though settings screen is providing its own title, but we can overwrite it later when we push a screen or something. But we don't need that for now. All right, cool. So the next, let's commit these changes. Add navigation types. Right. The next thing that we can do is simplify these strings, because if we actually want to access them, for example, let's say from this screen that we're pushing a screen to the stack, we don't want to be writing this thing all the time, and it's not super cool. So what we can do is go to screens, and then let's say add a file called constants.ts, and here we need to see all of our screens. I don't want to do this, I just want to see the names. Let's see what's the best way, what's the cleanest way to do this. Okay, so one thing is we need to be able to easily point to any of the screens if we want to push to them, right? If we want to write this, we don't want to, basically we don't want to type it every time, and we don't want it to be ugly as well. So if it was a constant, it would not be so pretty. So what I'm thinking is to rename this to the routes, and here export enum routes. Right, and then I just write the name of the screens: home screen, search screen, settings screen, book details. So these are the routes that we have right now. We don't need this. And then we can have another file called register.ts, and the reason is we don't want to be registering every file every time, like everything every time. So what we can do is import from routes, and then, well, maybe let's change it to a default export default, sorry, like this, and then we can import it like this. So screen map, new map, and it could be a string and a JSX element. We want to create a map of all the screens. Add screens, screen, let's just call it map dot set routes dot home screen, and it could be home screen, right? And the reason is this is not string, and this is actually routes type, and this is not JSX elements. This could be actually a navigation component, right? Because we want each of these screens actually adhere to this navigation component, so we wouldn't accidentally put a simple component like a button in this route. So now we have this. We can do search screen, and it would be a search screen component. Book details. We have book details here. And we have settings screen. It would be settings screen. This is not book details. This is what? Oh, our book details. could be any. Right. This one had some. So what we want to do is export a function, register screens, and this function could do this navigation that register component for each one of these. So first we need to get all of these. So if we do map dot entries and then it has for each item navigation dot register component. We want the key as well. Key, so it's the value and route. So it's screen and route. So we want to do route and then screen. What's component provider? Let's see. Oh, it's a provider, sorry, not the whole thing itself. Screen. Cool. Now we can just call this. Let's see if this still works. Now instead of doing all this, we can just do register screens. AppBooksy home screen has not been registered. This can, okay. Let's see what this registration does. So log out. Oh, so the key. So map takes key and value, but our key is not that thing. The key 0, 1, 2, 3. We don't want that. What do we want? Key. Key. What? Oh, sorry. I'm completely dumb here. So what we want to do is, what was our format? App.booksy. Enums have integer values by default if you don't provide that. App.booksy.homescreen, app.booksy.searchscreen, same thing. Settings and app.booksy.bookdetails. So now if we have this, the keys are there, and it still doesn't work. Settings screen. Did we register it wrong? Roots. Where is it? What? Yeah. Settings screen. There you go. We have it there. Yes, Hamid, I just saw it late. Thank you. Live streaming can be stressful, you know. Cool. I think there's a 30 seconds delay, so by the time you have posted it here, it's a bit late, but I will try to look at the chat more often before I scratch my head. Cool, now we have all this. Alright, cool. Now we have our screens that work, and this is much simpler. Okay, I forgot to change these. So now I can just do routes, home screen, search screen, second screen, and this should still work. Yay, it works. Alright, so now what we want to do is simplify the navigation a bit, because it's not so easy to just write it all in index, and we might need to do things like this, and we don't want to specify the whole structure. So let's create like some helpers for the navigation. Maybe here we can just move this to the top level, call it navigation, and save it all. We don't need types name. And then let's create some helpers for us. First of all, we want to create an helper for navigation. So this is the thing that we want. So export const navigate. Well, not navigate to. Okay, navigate to. So screen would be, well, let's not call it screen, routes. The second thing, okay, let's just first do this. It also needs component ID, string. It needs a route, which we can pass here. And it needs to have pass props. Pass props. For now, let's just do any. We can type that later. And we can do pass props. Alright, so this should be helping us navigate much easier. So here we just say navigate to. We need component ID. We need routes, the hook details, and then we can just say hook. Still works. Still fine. Cool. What else do we want to do? Okay, before I get to the styles, or let me see what I want to do next. Oh yeah. So let's just define our root structure here as well, because when we add authentication later, we might need to do this multiple times. And then here we can just do this thing that we were doing in here. Or just do the whole thing. I don't know why you didn't copy that. And then later we'll have export concept out as root. I mean, you can have better names, but for now it's just right. Set main as root. Did I explode something? Bird, oh, I should read more often, like read what the hell I'm doing, instead of just, of course this wouldn't work. Where is it? Is it, oh, it's actually the same, right, resources, resources. I think we have a circular thing here, or not. Okay, I thought we had a circular resolution. No, we don't. Cool. Now we have this. Alright, we can move on. This is much cleaner. We can just commit this part. Clean it out. The next thing that we can do is fix this callback. We have to throttle this, and I don't want to be writing this by myself, so use throttle callback hook. There's a there was this thing. Somebody. Let's see. It has 11,000 downloads, and it has not much. Okay, so this has set state, my callback. Okay, we can just use throw, it seems. Let's see. Let's just install it. It does have types. It does have types. So what would happen if I do query set query use throw empty? So what happens if I do this? Okay, we want to give it some options. So it works with 30 frames per second by default. We want to have it as 1 frame per second. So this should call it every... Yeah, there you go, that's what I wanted. Okay, maybe too much. So... No, it's one is enough. Cool. That fixed our issue quite nicely. So what we want to do is every time this query is run, just do this. Okay, not bad, could be better. Oh no, I wanted to cancel the previous. Call set stay on the leading edge right away when false set stay with no handle extremes do. I want the cancel. Does it have cancel? It doesn't have cancel. Oh, maybe let's see if it has debounce. Yeah, it does have debounce. Here's debounce. Okay, this is much nicer. I don't like Trello. Sorry, my brain was just... I wanted debounce, we don't want Trello. Use debounce. There you go. Does it take the same parameters? Wait, oh no, not 1 milliseconds. Is it milliseconds? So let's do just 500 milliseconds. Okay, if I clear it, it should do nothing because we have this thing here. But if I write skyward, after 1 second it works. If I write star sites, there you go, that's what I want. Cool. Like this. I mean, this screen also needs to be changed because now we have 2 star sites here. That doesn't look particularly good, but I mean, nobody's paying us for this, right? Alright. Alright folks, I'm gonna have just some water, be right back in 1 minute. I'm gonna put you on hold. Alright, I'm back. Cool. I mean, obviously this thing can be improved much more. We can add cancel and everything later, but if we have time at the end of this stream, I'm gonna do that. But I'm hoping for this stream to be just 1 hour-ish type of thing. But yeah, so now that we have the troubles, and also I don't like my prettier settings, we can fix it later. But for now, let's just do our. All right, so one thing I want to do for styles is I want to be able to style it based on the lighting of the operating system. I really this Xcode is. So if it's on light mode, I want to be able to. There you go. So now all of this work because, okay, a few things don't work. One is the text that is here, but the title color here works, the screen work nicely. But what doesn't work is these tab colors and also the text underneath that. Yes, Hamid. So that's what I'm trying to basically do. First, I want to tackle the styles, but then we can improve the search list. But maybe this is a good project for you. You said you wanna work on that list library, so maybe you wanna do that, so I can use that. I'm kidding, just no rush, but a bit of rush. Cool. All right. So let's just do that. For that, we need a few things. We need the. Let me see if this has been added to the dark mode detection. Has it been added to React Native since 62? Oh no, is it um, React Native docs? Where is docs? React Native docs. I know, I haven't checked the new versions, but appearance. Oh, it's added. Does it do the same? Does it do the same thing as this? Do we need an appearance provider? Nah, let's just use this because it has hooks and everything. You're not. I'm gonna add some music to these streams in a couple of days. I need to get some license for the music, but when I do, these two tracks that I play on Be Right Back and the other screen are free, but I need to get some license for the stream so I can use some actual music while things install. But for now, you just need to bear with me with the silence. Oh, I just realized you can't actually see the tabs because my head is in the way. Sorry. So I'm just gonna put them outside. Cool. Okay, there is one slight issue which Hamid may be able to help. That React Native navigation doesn't actually exist in the actual React tree from root, so every component is different. So if I have an appearance provider here in the register, so here, so right. Appearance provider. I mean, we can add a better provider later. So few things we need to do is this. Why is this not working? Oh, the reason is this screen is not CSX. Now we have other issues. Temporarily required provided since the upstream implementation user. What? Oh, I see. It needs to be a factory. Also, we could actually have another one just returns screen components. What are you talking about? React refers to oh. Thank you. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, that's I put the wrong spot. What's wrong with you, man? Cool. How that works. Let's just see if it works. We're gonna put later native appearance, use color scheme. Let's see if it updates. I really wish this stream didn't have any delays because I really wanna do this at the same time that you guys see it, but I mean, I don't know what to do about that. So now when we go back, it should be back. Oh, nice. Cool. This works. But now this doesn't. Skyward. Let's just add a default thing so we can see our own skyward. Alright, so one solution I have found, which is the simplest to have a nice theming capability, is this thing which just says that do this, right? Let's actually use this. I mean, I'm not sure yet, but let's just use this. Does it have TypeScript? It does. This makes it look a bit like Material UI framework on web. I don't know. So what we're going to do is also take this. And instead of that, let's just do instead, why is it showing there? Oh, thank you for letting me know. There you go. What is the color scheme name? Color scheme name is not that light or dark. So what you want the color scheme name. Cool. So basically, oh, so it returns the no preference as well. Does it not work? Ah, come on. So what do you want? Do you want us to return thing appearance provider R and then stylesheet data? Okay, that's bytes or top. Alright, and then what we want to do is this. Let's see if it works. I mean, why wouldn't it, right? So what's the theme? The theme is light or, yeah, cool. So, for example, where is it? List title. Text color. Then we just use 10. Yeah. Styles. Use styles. So this should initially give us the thing that we want. Oh my god, this is not good. What's happening with this library? Oh, okay. No, I just leave it at that. Yeah, I did just obviously doesn't work. So I just need to quickly log this to see what is inside. Why is this an array? This doesn't work, man. Oh, no, it works. It's just that I'm done. Cool. Zoom in. There you go. I'm sorry if it was too far away. Cool, it works. So now let's see what our thing does. So our text color is black and white. So if we go back to this and then change this, and we come right here, it should be white. Yay! It works. Haha, it works. I love it. Also, I'm not happy with the way I'm using this, so I'm not touchable opacity. Yeah, okay, I like this much more. Alright, now we have to fix this other screen. Do the same thing. So now we have this. Yeah, book details. Keep forgetting style sheet factory. Style sheet factory. Const. And then what we do is we just cut this stuff. What? I wish I was a cool developer. I could use Vim mode here and do everything with keyboard, but I'm not that cool. I'm just like a non-cool developer. Not styles. What? Cover image. Is it not there? Should be there. What's wrong with you? Okay, let's just first fix this situation with white. Is the text color. For now, let's just make this also thin. Text color. Alright, and what's wrong with you? Oh wow. Type of visible hidden. What am I? Cover image. I'm not assigning anything to you. What's wrong with you? I'm just assigning this. And oh, seriously, you had to go there. TypeScript, man. Okay, my temporary fix is just see as there's I can fix it later. What I also wanted to do is have another image here, then have this one as cover background. Let's see if I can do that. With 100%, I'm not even sure if I can do this in React Native, but I mean, why not, right? Who's to say I can't do that? Okay, the height we know is 200. No, I wanted the width. Can I do this? No, I can't. I still can't. I'm pretty sure you guys know this much better than me, but okay, dimensions. What is this? Oh, okay, maybe it was actually working. Wait. Before I do that. Okay, it's working. I didn't need to even do that. Radius 10. So basically this would be padding 16. Okay. So what is it that's pushing? Okay. Okay. Let's remove all the margins. Okay. Yeah, this is not vertical. And then color tiles, that would be, okay, let's just go back first to dark mode because my eyes are hurting. And the color background. Thank you. Cool. It's not the best design in the world, but I'm happy with this so far. Yeah, so what else we wanted to do? I guess that's it for now. Any suggestions are welcome. Let's just discuss over Twitter with this. Let me commit these. Okay, let's discuss this on Twitter if you guys have any ideas, and then we can take this another day and then go from there. All right, thank you for having me. Hope you have a good one. Cheers.